Hey guys, here's Daniel from 100 Life Design, and thanks for tuning into this webinar. Over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to go over one of my favorite topics, shamelessness. But I'm going to be talking about it in a context that we don't normally use the word. So get yourself comfortable, and let's check out how this often misunderstood personality trait is actually pretty essential for opening up the door of opportunity. What is shamelessness? Why be shameless? We live in a world today where we're constantly judged for our actions, our bodies, and our words, and that includes all of our flaws. It can sometimes be pretty painful, which leads us to be more cautious and to be very aware of our own shame from a young age. But no matter where you are in life, you have to be shameless to succeed. There's a link between our attitude and our actions, and between our actions and our success. If you're ashamed, you move through the world fearfully. If you're shameless, you move through the world fearlessly. Now, wouldn't it be nice to be able to go after and to get exactly what you want? Well, that's why we're here, to give you some quick tips on how to do just that. Now, what do I mean by shameless? The literal definition here is having a lack of shame. In other words, not caring about the social faux pas and rules of the world. And while that might be true from a definitive sense, this word gets a very bad rap because it often implies that we're rude, immoral, or brash. But what I'm saying is the word shameless in this context really means doing something that's best for ourselves without worrying about what other people think. It's that indifference to other people's opinion that is the critical definitive factor in the way I'm using the word shamelessness. So, as I've already said, you need to be shameless, and here's why. If you're an entrepreneur, if you have a first date coming up, if you're going on a job interview, you need to be this way because the truth is a hesitant person, somebody who is afraid of what others think or afraid of failing, that person fades right into the crowd. So what do? Here are some steps to stop being shameless. Step number 1, talk about it. It sounds basic, but if you want something, you have to tell people. Tell your best friend, tell your Uber driver, tell your coworkers. It doesn't really matter who you tell. Just introduce your vision, your desires, your goals, whatever it is. Introduce that into the world. The world can't give you what you want if the world doesn't know what you want. Remember, self-promotion is okay, and we do it all the time. We do it when we dress well for a date, when we ask for feedback, or when we hand out a business card. It's a huge leap of faith, but it does two critical things. First, it solidifies in our minds what we want. If we bring our goals and our visions to the forefront of our consciousness, if we are actively and deliberately talking about it, we are more likely to think about it on a regular basis and in turn internalize and adopt whatever it is we've been talking about. And 2, it helps get us noticed when it comes to networking. Even by talking casually about our interests, we never know what information is going to connect with who and who might be able to open the door for us. Tip number 2, don't wait for permission. You don't need anyone else's permission to go after what you want in life. Life is too short to worry about what other people think, whether you fail or succeed. Stop wasting time asking for permission. At the end of the day, someone else's opinion on what it is you choose to do is largely irrelevant. It's okay to try, and it's definitely okay to try again. Tip number 3, remember that you already have the no. So building off of that last point, don't forget that you're starting from nothing. And if you don't do anything, you'll still have nothing at the end of the day. But if you go for what you want, if you ask, you might get it. If you risk it, you can accomplish greatness in every aspect of life. That no is often the reason why we're so afraid to start something to begin with. We're afraid of hearing no. But the reality is, you already have a no, so you should be a lot more afraid of doing nothing than doing something. And point number 4, there are no stupid questions. Your teacher might have told you this back in school, and you probably weren't listening, but I certainly hope you are now, because this is critical. Get comfortable with asking questions, regardless of the content. If you want to know how somebody, say, formatted their website, if you want to ask for a discount on something you're about to purchase, if you want to ask that person if he or she will go on a date with you, you got to be comfortable with asking. And start by asking people. Ask anyone. Ask a perfect stranger. It doesn't really matter. What it comes down to is if you're asking and approaching somebody with genuine interest and enthusiasm, it's never going to be interpreted as stupidity or foolishness. So again, get really comfortable with asking questions, period. If you're still skeptical about some of the things I've said, then take this into consideration. Some of the most successful people in this world follow these tips every day, and they're getting exactly what they want out of life. I challenge you to adopt some of these techniques and mix them into your daily routine. I think you're going to be very pleasantly surprised by what comes of it, who starts taking notice, and what opportunities seem to suddenly start presenting themselves. So go now and start living shamelessly. The opportunities are out there.